For almost 75 years, the United Nations Refugee and Works Agency, or UNRWA, has helped displaced Palestinians. Many major donors, including Canada, have suspended new funding to UNRWA after Israeli allegations that 12 of UNRWA's 13,000 Gaza staff were involved in the October 7th attacks. Cutting off aid will hurt many people in terms of health and education, says occupied West Bank resident Daoud Faraj. Fears for the agency's future only increased this weekend.
We were in the UNRWA headquarters, above, on ground. Now we're underneath.
Israeli soldiers took a select group of journalists on a tour of what Israel says are Hamas tunnels that reach beneath UNRWA's evacuated headquarters in Gaza City. The head of UNRWA, Philippe Lazzarini, says the agency did not know what was underground and that before the compound was evacuated last October, concerns about any suspicious ground cavities were reported to Hamas and Israel.
I have been to the UNRWA headquarters in Gaza many, countless times.
Chris Gunnis was UNRWA's chief spokesperson for 12 years.
UNRWA doesn't have some kind of surveillance arm that can do underground surveillance. And the other thing to say is that UNRWA is responsible for neutrality in its own compounds, in its own headquarters, not what goes on underneath them or indeed in the skies above them.
Canada's suspension of aid is pending an UNRWA internal investigation into alleged staff involvement in the October 7th attacks. In January, Ottawa pledged $40 million to other UN agencies in Gaza. On Monday, UNRWA's top boss heads to Brussels to ask European governments to keep aid funding flowing. But the EU itself is split. Some nations have suspended funds, some have maintained payments, and Spain has even increased aid. Another indication of how divisive the conflict can be in the international community. Redmond Shannon, Global News, London.